moving to it.
All right. Well, so allegedly, this is all alleged. A young lady came out on was his name's Fox and it used to be Fox and Star or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what his new name because I don't think Fox is on there no more. But Star's YouTube channel and had a little interview.
What you talking about? Oh, you said Star?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Star. Yeah, that's Star. Star from Star and Buck. From
Star and Buck Wild. Okay, that's what
legendary Star and Buck Wild. Yep.
But I don't think Buck Wild's there no more. So I think it was just Star.
But he come around every now and then.
Oh, okay. So Star had an interview with a young lady at the she said allegedly that Charlemagne the God had sexually molested her at 15 years old. So what is you guys' thoughts on this? And yeah.
Only thing about it is you know what I'm saying, like it's already been handled in court, but there is no I don't know, because there's already been a ruling and everything. It just looks bad. What it'll come down to as far as sponsors for Charlemagne, because there were a couple inconsistencies in his story. He wasn't all the way outright, you know what I'm saying? Outright, he didn't come all the way out when he told the story. You know what I'm saying? He said, basically he said he was underage when he bought it, and then he basically said, they just weren't of age, you know what I'm saying, to get the liquor, but he never specifically said how old, you know what I'm saying, she was. But he was forthcoming as far as the case itself. He was forthcoming in it's an old interview with him and DJ Academics, and he was the one that basically offered that information. He didn't give the exact details. So there's certain inconsistencies that are told as far as from the girl's standpoint versus what Charlemagne's saying. So it's tricky. We'll have to get more details on it, but I will say I don't believe right now it really hasn't touched the main media right now. It's staying on the internet, you know what I'm saying, which is best for Charlemagne, because if it starts touching places like TMZ or Inside Edition or all those little tabloid places, then that's when it'll catch fire. But I think there's, it may have been something that's been discussed already. It was pretty graphic too. It was pretty graphic, when she was, explaining what was going on. And like she said, she was 15 years old underage. She said he basically was the one that picked him up, you know what I'm saying? And he took it, and now people are pointing toward the plea deal that he took. I do know at times it's tough when you take those, when it comes to plea deals, and especially young black men, because when it comes to plea deals, you got to have a lawyer, you got to stay lawyered up, you know what I'm saying? You may not have the money to even afford that lawyer. So, you're scared, if you lose the case, you're going to get a substantial amount of years. And then, so you just, let me take the plea deal because, the system's not for us. We can have all the evidence in the world, but if you don't have, representation, and more than likely some Jews standing in front of the judge and advocating for you, saying there's a chance, you might serve some time. So we don't know the details, but I don't think this is a witch hunt or anything because of who it is. Star is, he says crazy shit, but he's very reputable. I followed him for years. He's the one that broke the African Bambaataa story.
African Bang Bottoms.
Yeah, the African Bambaataa. Yeah, disgusting dude. But hip hop as a whole kind of turned a blind eye to that. They didn't follow up on that, and there's been a lot of infighting. He turned that over basically to the conscious community, and they just completely dropped the ball on that because it's just too much ego and everything going on that side of the internet. But so hopefully it's not true. Just like LaShawn, man, I hope these allegations aren't true. Hopefully, he doesn't have to, but it would probably be the best if he, probably to provide more details. You know what I'm saying? I know because I know when he initially talked about it, it may have been a tricky thing to talk about. He may not have even wanted to say like, yeah, she was 15, and he may not have known she was 15. So he don't even want to bring that into the equation and have people start talking about it. But there was paperwork. There it's a real case. Star showed all that. He his word, and he, like I said, everything was alleged, and he told the victim after the interview, like, I don't know if I'm the one, who will bring you closure. You might need to seek, counseling and different things, but all I'm helping you is, getting it out and getting your word out in the forefront. So I hope not, man. Charlemagne's he's a prominent figure. I don't agree with everything he does, but he's a prominent black figure in the media right now. He's been seeing success, and that'll just be that's heartbreaking if it's another black man, at the top getting accused of some crap like this, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully it's not nothing, no evidence or anything. Not evidence, but hopefully it's not true at all. Hopefully it's not true. So.
All right. Well, mine's might sound a little biased because I do look up to Charlemagne, but this is going off of I'm not biased at all. But in his book he had mentioned this story of I forgot what chapter it was, but he had mentioned this story, and he mentioned that I guess a couple of his the homies or the people that was at the party was the ones that did it, and he had to take the rap because it was his party, and the cops are the ones that was like, yo, you're the one that's hosting the party, you're the one that had my unwillingly had minors in your party, and that happened, so you have to take the rap for this. And that's what happened. So like that's just what happened in his book. That's what he said. I'm just going off of that. What she said. I'm not saying Charlemagne the guy was the one that was doing it or not, but that's fucked up on so many levels. But just know when you get famous, stories gonna come. It's either there's gonna be gay rumors, you're gonna be gay, or you either gonna be or you're gonna have you're gonna sexually assault somebody. Just know that. So Lauren, what you got up?
Oh yeah, I mean this one was disappointing. I mean I don't follow Charlemagne like that. But I know he is out there. I mean the the young lady was relatively convincing. I will say that much. You know what I'm saying? She told her story well. I think the one thing I hate, the one thing that I hate is that, 15 years later, this really comes out in the news. Like, I think that's what I hate. Although, I mean, victims should always be able to tell their story. You know what I'm saying? If it happened, I guess that's a way to process through some of the pain. It's just by telling a story. But yeah, I think that was the biggest thing that threw me is I was like, man, this is 15 years ago. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter anymore because it does. I mean, obviously something happened to you and you feeling some type of way about it, but that's kind of what I struggle with sometimes. I mean, the statute of limitations for a civil suit, it always exists, you know what I'm saying? So she can't go after him criminally, but she can go after him civilly. The plea bargain does make it look bad for him. I think that was the culture. As sad as it may seem, you know what I'm saying? Where, if you was cute and you had a body, or if you had a body and whatever, like that was just the culture to allow you into those scenes, you know what I'm saying? Because you added eye candy to the party, So unfortunately it was the culture back then. I'm not sure it's really any different now.
No, it's not. It's worse.
So it's unfortunate. I mean, I hope for his sake that, he didn't do anything. But I will say, it's rather hard for me to believe that he didn't know at the very least that she was underage. Like I think that part of it, like I think would probably be the part in which I would probably err to the side of believing her more so. Uh, is that he probably knew she was, I'll just say under 18, whether or not he thought she was 17 or whatever, like that doesn't matter. I thought it was kind of, it seems like what makes him seem devious is the fact that he met the family. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what the alleged story is. The mother said that, you know, they had been, formally introduced and things of that nature. So he did know the family. I think that's what kind of makes it seem devious on his part. But I would never speculate, especially something that happened that long ago, where stories can get changed and twisted and poked and prodded and things of that nature. I think at the end of the day, as men, be smart. You know what I'm saying? Ask a question that only an 18-year-old or older could answer. I think that may help you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe ask them who they voted for. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Try to ask something that's relevant, you know what I'm saying, to not put you in situations that could destroy you later. You know what I'm saying? Because if this hits mainstream media, it's going to destroy him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it'll completely derail his life, but I mean, there'll be a lot of people that probably will turn their back on him. You know what I'm saying? And so, just gotta play it smart, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and this is across the board, all men. I don't care if you're famous or you're not famous. Like, be smart, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, ain't no piece of tail, you know what I'm saying, worth hell for the rest of your life.
Right.
It's not that serious.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, it's the culture, and that's the bad thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, the culture perpetuates this stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, I mean, let's be honest though. I want to before I would be remiss if I didn't say this. If that's my daughter and Charlemagne rolls up to my house, I'm gonna take the girls out to have a good time. You're absolutely not going to, unless she sneaks out the house. You know what I'm saying, against my better judgment in my direction. Like, that's the part for me that I'm like, why would you even allow that to happen? You know what I'm saying? Your daughter's 15. And if you think, and the only way, like, there is no confusion. I don't care if Charlemagne was 16. He ain't going to no pool party. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not gonna happen. So it's not about finger pointing, man. It's about being smart. Like, are we really trying to protect each other? You know what I'm saying? Or are we just hanging each other out to dry? Because that's essentially what happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would venture to think that maybe Charlemagne was nothing more than a setup man. You know what I'm saying? Especially back then, Charlemagne wasn't nobody. He's trying to get in the game. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to do all these different things to garner attention for himself, to build up his resume. So he could have very easily just been a setup guy, and you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's slipped something in the drink and then somebody else went to town. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, and I'm not gonna speculate because it's not fair to him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna speculate what happened. It doesn't matter. Or I'll speculate, but I'm not gonna speak. And like, I know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. I do hope that the young lady gets some healing from this. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, obviously she feels some type of way about the situation. And that's not abnormal for a assault victim at all. You know what I'm saying? To still deal with the ramifications of things, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, not being able to shake it. So, yeah, I do hope that she gets some help to kind of process through this because she kind of sent me in a couple different directions. Like I was like, so are you okay or are you not? Like you saying my life is good, but he stole something from me. I'm like, ain't nothing stole. Nobody stole nothing from you that you ain't give to him. Like, and if you gave it to him, take the shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so uh yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Like, and like I said, we become so desensitized to it.
Yo, I feel you.
It's like goddamn school shooting. It's like, oh yeah, for real. Man,
Another
fucked
one.
up, man. How the gun get in the school this time? You know what I'm saying? It becomes that type of a storyline, and that's where it gets awfully tricky. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this is media, man. Like media gotta have a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? Man, media don't care. They don't care about you as a victim. They don't care about you as a perpetrator. Like all they care about is being the one to get the story out. And I feel like we don't call out media enough for, false reporting. You know what I'm saying? Only telling half the story, the story that's gonna make headlines and not the whole story because it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't slant it as well. So a lot of factors, man. Like in all these situations. I mean, you go back to Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do it, and his homie was in the car with him. So then all of a sudden, his homie wasn't nowhere close. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of like whoever put the initial story out there. I'm gonna need to borrow your journalist's license for a while. Let me get your journalist license for a while. And when you want to report the truth, you know what I'm saying, instead of just a story, I give it back to you.
Right.
God, we hearing it. You got Harvey Weinstein, right? You know about Harvey. Harvey's out there. Harvey's out there doing them dirty, right?
Yep.
But everybody else has been black. Everybody else has been black. Black celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Zeke Elliott. The list just goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? Nobody said nothing to the fact that Woody Allen's wife was 14 when he married her.
I say that every time
nobody's
shit like that.
Nobody's ever said anything about that. I mean, they talk about it, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? We don't talk about it in a negative format. We talk about it in a format of, oh, well, that's weird.
And was a stepdaughter.
Yep, it was a stepdaughter.
So I mean, just little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's rather frustrating. You know what I'm saying? It's rather frustrating. To have to continue to listen to them only talk about the brothers. You know what I'm saying? And what we did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that we're not responsible in some of these cases because mean, we saw Ray Rice suck the shit out of his. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He sent her to sleep for a while. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that, we're not responsible for some of these acts, you know what I'm saying? Because we are, but the media is just making us look all kind of bad, you know what I'm saying? And like Corey said, as a general rule of thumb, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, man, my wife can piss me off plenty of times. Never once was I like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of her. Just wait. I'm gonna get her. Like I've never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't brought up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that I am probably stronger than 90% of women. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 95, and so, for me, it's like, I don't even want to exercise my power like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth my time. I mean, these dudes is getting their careers destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Over stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, that's why I be at the house. I ain't trying to get caught up in nobody's mess. Well, yeah, Lauren was at the club. Lauren don't go to the club. So, nope, it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try not to put myself in situations that, those type of things can even be brought up. Like, trust me, I ain't taking no plea bargain because I was at the house. Like, I mean, maybe I got a look-alike, you know what I'm saying, a stunt double, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't me, you know what I'm saying. Don't We got to do a better job of not putting ourselves in situations where we can get caught up in that mess. And sometimes you just got ratchet ass females, you know what I'm saying, they just don't care, they're hell bent on destroying any man, you know what I'm saying, especially if the relationship didn't work and you just want to get back at him, you know what I'm saying. You can't do nothing about them, but I think in a lot of those cases, you know what I'm saying, those stories go away because when a real story comes out, you find out that shit didn't happen.
Yeah, you know and like one of the two things I gotta say is nobody's speaking about this Mel B thing when Mel B was on, I guess, on some show. I think it was X Factor or something like that, and the old white dude was copping the field. Like I didn't see no press about that. What's up with that? Like you're touching a female that doesn't want to be touched in 2018. You know what I'm saying? And I don't hear no uproar. So. And then another thing, I don't know how it was back in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, back in the day, but right now, you gotta ask for ID, bro. Trust me, trust and believe. You gotta ask for ID these days because some of these girls that you see be looking 20, 21, be fucking 15, 16.
12. Man, I had a girl, right. I got the Ring app on my on the house, right? So one of my daughter's friends came to the house. And I mean, I was like, man, where your clothes at? Number one, you know what I'm saying? I was at work. I just happened to look at the video. And I asked my daughter, I said, who was that? She's like, oh, that's my friend. I said, the grown woman? And she was like, nah, she's the same age as me. I was like, she's not 19. And she was like, yeah, she is that. And I was like, no way. And so I was like, man, show me a picture because I know videos can be pixelated.
Yeah.
He showed me a picture. I was like, yeah, she looked like she's about 25 to 30. She's like, nah, man, she's 19. And I was like, whoa. I said, I can't tell you how many dudes would have got in trouble for messing with her, a couple years back before she was even of legal age. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so yeah, that's why I said, man, I'll be like, man, who did you vote for last year? And if you don't even know who the candidates were, I can't mess with you.
You gotta ask certain things. But that's the thing. Some cats, man, their conscious level isn't even
they don't give no shits
on par, so they can't even ask a fucking question like that. And I tell you right now, this shit happens all the fucking time. It's garbage. You know what I'm saying? I've never been caught up in a situation like that because I've always known how to vet females that have been around me. But the people that I've seen, I'm telling you, and it's not something that a lot of times you see people do it, man. It's not something that they're trying to do, but motherfuckers is on drugs, drinking. It's that whole party atmosphere and everything like that. So people aren't even thinking, and they're not even, and they see a grown female, but you know what I'm saying? It looks, you know what I'm saying, visually, but the actions, movement, stuff she talk about is, you know what I'm saying, childish things. But nigga ain't thinking about motherfucker will be gassing all of that up, and then next thing you know what I'm saying, got her up in the room, or you know what I'm saying, cats, and ain't nobody thinking, ain't nobody questioning, asking the ID. They don't even want to do that because all they can see is, hey, she look good right now. She looks good right now, and I want to, it's easy pussy. She looks good. It's some good, you know what I'm saying? So I want to get it in, you know what I'm saying? And the chances she pulls out, you know what I'm saying, 15, I don't even want to see that because, you know what I'm saying, I don't even want to spoil it for myself. I guarantee that I think that's how a lot of these cats are thinking. But this crazy shit happens all the time. And then, like you said, like Lauren was asking with the parent, because he met with the parent and everything. You see this shit all the time, especially with mothers, you know what I'm saying, where they just letting, you know what I'm saying, some grown-ass man come and take their daughter, you know what I'm saying, take them anywhere they feel like it, you know what I'm saying, not asking questions or anything like that. Typically, when you see fathers, you know what I'm saying, fathers around, and I don't know if there was a father involved in this situation, but typically when you see fathers, you know what I'm saying.
Can't to take Megan out. What you want, nigga?
I'm here to take his daughter out.
What's your name?
Reggie.
Well, no, I heard the motherfucker say your name, Reggie. You taking Megan out?
Yes, sir.
How old is you?
15.
Shit, nigga, you at least 30.
and involved in things like that. So with your you know what I'm saying, they'll shut that shit short because they know how men operate and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the mother, she's used to seeing shit like that. She'll think like, oh, I knew how I was when I was 15. So she'll try to excuse shit like that for her daughter, especially if the daughter's a dope dealer or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully she get with hers, and then he, you know, then they'll be shacked up. He'll be in the house with her.
He'll be taking care of her.
He's there, be shacked up with got the boyfriend and the daughter in there. He's selling dope out the motherfucking place. Yeah, it's shit like this that goes on. So there's so many layers, man. But yeah, man, we got to cut this shit out. Yeah.
Especially since he was on the come up, you know what I'm saying? Because she was practicing. Oh, that's Charlemagne. That's Charlemagne, the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's little Charlemagne. Like who?
Exactly. He's known in South Carolina. He's known in South Carolina.
Yeah. What's his government name?
Yeah.
You know
Y'all dudes better know. Y'all dudes better know that these females be telling on y'all. They tell on y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, you think it's simple that a human being would comprehend that, but I met so many people that just don't get that simple thing. The things that you do will come out in the light, especially if you're doing it in the front of a fucking person. These females tell stories. They tell on cast. They say, yeah, I remember him when I was 15, and yeah, he used to pick me up from school, this and that. You'd be like, oh, that motherfucker, like I went to school with him or some shit like that. So yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to just like dump this all off on dudes because females do it too. Cause damn, what was that, like 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago. No, you said what? No, 3 years ago. My home, but it was my little homie. You know what I'm saying? My little homie. I took him under my wing and everything. Dude was like a smooth 6'6". That's 3 years ago, and he was like 14, 15. 6'6", bagging grown ass adults.
I'm gonna ask you this. I've thought about this too. It's sick for a woman to do that, but at the same time, is there a double standard when it comes to? There's there a double standard? Because even in our mind, we think like, you know what I'm saying? If our son was like, you know what I'm saying, came home was like, hey, I smashed the teacher, you're gonna be like, okay, the first thing that's gonna go through your head is, okay, son, you know what I'm saying? The first thing. Right. But then, okay, when you get your head together, okay, you're gonna be like, okay, you're not gonna do that with your son, but in your mind, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, you knocked that out the park. But you know what I'm saying? On the outside, you're gonna be like, okay, this can't go on. You're gonna have to. The right thing to do would be to talk to the teacher, press charges. It's just different because I don't know. It's still. We got to get that clear on what the age would be, because like if a woman was sitting up there doing it with a 8-year-old or something, like, okay, that's definitely perversion, you know what I'm saying? But when it's like a 15-year-old, 16, maybe 14, that's just usually just a stupid woman. It's not a woman that likes to take advantage of a child or things like that. It's usually from what I've gathered together, it's a stupid woman. Whereas when you got a man that does stuff like that, that's it's a man that usually has a pedophile problem. He likes to take advantage of young girls, you know what I'm saying, penetrate, because ain't no woman gonna get penetrate. I mean, can't no woman penetrate a man unless he's, shoving a broom up his ass or something. But they're basically giving consent. They're giving consent to everything. And so she's giving consent to and a person that age isn't, necessarily grown enough. But I just think there is a clear double standard when I think, you know what I'm saying, the first thing that pops in your mind when you think of these situations. A man doing it to a woman, I believe, is worse. But there both needs to be charges dropped on both sexes when it happens. But I think there's, you know what I'm saying, man is worse when it comes to things like that.
Well, yeah, like I said, my young boy was